All right, here's your creepypasta. This one comes from a user. The story Button Eyes. You know, my grandma, she loved finding old things, antiques, forgotten treasures. Most of them were harmless. But then she found Patch. He wasn't like other dolls, not porcelain, not plastic. He was made of old worn fabric, stitched together like a patchwork quilt. His eyes were mismatched buttons, one dark, one pale, and his smile, it was painted on, a wide red line that always seemed a little too eager. Grandma thought he was charmingly rustic. She gave him to my little sister Lily for her birthday. Lily loved him instantly, carried him everywhere. At first it was just little things. Lily would say Patch told her secrets. He says the cat is silly. She'd giggle, or Patch says I don't need to eat my peas. Harmless, right? Kids and their imaginary friends. But then I'd find Patch in places Lily couldn't have put him on the top shelf of the bookcase, sitting on the kitchen counter, facing the door, always watching. Then came the whispers, faint rustling sounds when no one else was around, like old fabric rubbing together. And sometimes when Lily was playing with Patch, I'd hear a low, raspy murmur. Not Lily's voice. It sounded old and cold. One night I woke up to a strange sound from Lily's room, a soft, rhythmic thump, thump, thump. I crept to her door. It was slightly ajar. Through the gap, I saw Lily asleep in her bed. And Patch, he was sitting on her bedside table. His little fabric hand with its stitched fingers was slowly, deliberately tapping against the wooden surface. Thump, thump, thump. My blood ran cold. Dolls don't move. I forced myself to open the door. The tapping stopped. Patch was still sitting there, staring. I tried to talk to my parents. They said I was imagining things, stressed, but the incidents grew. Objects would go missing only to reappear in bizarre places. Lily started having nightmares, screaming about the dark voice and the cold eyes. She'd wake up with strange, faint red marks on her arms, like tiny scratches. One evening, I walked into Lily's room. She was sitting on her bed, facing the wall, perfectly still. Patch was sitting next to her. His head was tilted just slightly towards her, and his painted smile, it seemed wider. I felt a chill that went straight to my bones. "Lily," I whispered. She didn't respond. I reached for her, but a voice, that low, raspy murmur, seemed to whisper right in my ear. "She's ours now." It was coming from Patch. I grabbed Patch, pulling him away from Lily. He felt strangely heavy, almost rigid. As I held him, his button eyes seemed to blink. Just once, his painted smile stretched, impossibly wide, like a tear in the fabric. I threw him across the room. He hit the wall with a sickening thud, then slid to the floor. His head snapped to the side, facing me. The whispers filled the room, swirling around me, cold and mocking. Lily started to cry, a soft, heartbroken whimper. My parents finally believed me when they saw the state of Lily's room. Furniture overturned, strange symbols drawn on the walls in what looked like dried mud. They called the police. The officers looked at Patch, lying still on the floor, and just shook their heads. "Just a doll, kid," one said. But his eyes lingered on those button eyes. They took Patch away, said it was evidence of a break-in. But I know what really happened. Lily, she's different now, quieter. Sometimes when she thinks no one's listening, I hear her whisper, "Patch misses me." And sometimes, late at night, I still hear that faint rustling sound, like old fabric moving just outside my door. That was creepypasta. And if you want to hear another one, stay tuned.